Hi again. I'm Mike Scott, the film critic at the Times-Picayune in New Orleans. And if you go see just one new movie this weekend, this is The One, my weekly video for NOLA.com, where I try to help you sort through all the new offerings at the box office. And after a dismal post-Thanksgiving lull, things look to get back on track this weekend at the box office as studios start the multi-week process of rolling out their holiday movie slates. This week we get two wide releases, including Ridley Scott's biblical epic Exodus, Gods and Kings, starring Christian Bale as Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt. Despite middling to poor reviews, you can expect that one to win the box office this weekend. After all, if there's one thing Ridley Scott knows, it's eye-popping spectacle, and this one, by all accounts, delivers there. Then there's Top 5, a comedy Chris Rock wrote, directed, and stars in which sees him bringing audiences the kind of funny, fast-talking comedy that made him a star in the first place, as opposed to those god-awful grown-ups movies. But I'm going to lead you a little off the beaten path this week for a documentary local moviegoers should find interesting. It's The Great Invisible, a documentary from Alabama filmmaker Margaret Brown about the BP oil spill with a focus on the human toll, including, among those on board the doomed Deepwater Horizon oil rig, as well as the lingering effects of those living along the coast and who rely on the Gulf for their livelihoods.
It flipped me through the air like a rag doll.
I honestly thought that I was going to die in there.
Already I've issued a 6-month moratorium on deepwater drilling. We need to know the facts before we continue.
It was a very prestigious job to work on the Deepwater Horizon.
How's my room? 338.
It was an outstanding rig because of the crew that was on it.
We were all up on the front here when everything happened.
Every one of the rig's defenses failed.
There were things that were done to save time and save money.
Transocean started eliminating positions.
When the decision was made to cut corners, it's putting them at increased risk.
We were behind schedule, so it's starting to cost them a lot of money.
They knew the hydraulics weren't working. They knew that there was rubber in the mud that was coming back up. That tells you something.
People were aware that things weren't going properly.
These are things that everybody knows are wrong, and they're still told to keep going.
President, U.S. BP, were you aware of any problems with this well prior to it blowing?
No, I was not.
As that clip suggests, The Great Invisible offers powerful and at times emotional stories. And to be honest, that would have been good enough all by itself, but Brown goes deeper, and her film takes a long, hard look at America's energy policy and at a culture of greed that puts profits above everything else, including the environment and human safety. The Great Invisible screened back in October at the New Orleans Film Festival, and this week it gets a full run at the Britannia Theater, along with the Edward Snowden doc Citizen 4 and the charity hospital doc Big Charity. If you're up for a triple feature, I would recommend all three of those. But in my review in this week's Lanyap and on NOLA.com, I give Brown's film 4 stars out of 5, and so this week, The Great Invisible is also the one.